Hello everyone, Clay Frederick of the Horror franchise, back at it with another Resident Evil Requiem video. Tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow's the day. We've been waiting for this since the first week of June last year, ever since that first trailer dropped, where we are introduced to a new character in the likes of Grace Ashcroft, where she is told to investigate a place where her mother, Alyssa Ashcroft, a character that is very known from the earlier entries of this series, is killed, likely. So, what do I have to say, other than the fact that I'm super excited for this game, that we haven't covered already? Well, I'll tell you now. I'm going to be definitely live streaming this game. That is pretty much clear, because if you're familiar with my live streams, I have created Road to Requiem ever since, like the end of January or something, around that time. And I've covered most of the entries in the series. I went from Resident Evil 1, 2, 3 Nemesis, 4, 5, Remake 2, Remake 3, Remake 4, and just recently I did a classic run with Claire Redfield on RE2 Remake, and then I did a classic run with Jill in Resident Evil 3 Remake, and then I just did Separate Ways just very recently. Now, I was going to do Resident Evil Village. I kind of attempted it, but my internet had other plans, so I just kind of gave up. Plus, I wasn't really motivated. I'm just going to be real with you guys. I like Resident Evil Village, but I don't love it. I just wasn't feeling it, so I apologize for that. I am very excited for this game. I'm very much looking forward to see the direction that this game goes. Obviously, we're going to go back to Raccoon City, and we're going to re-explore some areas and probably see new places while we're at it. There's going to be a lot of nostalgia. I can tell you that right now. Now, I will say, I did kind of get curious about the reviews that are coming out. And so far from what I've seen, they're pretty positive for the most part. So, I'm trying to refrain myself from spoiling myself as much as I can. But at the same time, I wanted to see the reviews so that I can dim down my expectations as much as I can. I'm trying to do that. But at the same time, I'm very curious what is going on. That Capcom has definitely... they've reserved so much still. Do you feel that? They are hiding something big. Maybe more than one thing. Multiple things, possibly. Because the only thing we got to see is the Chronic Care Center. That's probably about 25% of the game. Hope it could be 50%. Who the hell knows? But then we get very little Raccoon City. Very little Raccoon City is pretty much shown in this. They are just now showing more of it, too. The previous trailer they released, that the State of Play, we're just now getting into Raccoon City footage. I got a feeling. Now, I've already said this in my previous, maybe the video beforehand, but I don't remember. I feel like since Leon's going through what he's going through in this game, and it's obviously Sherry Birkin that's helping him, talking to him through the comms and all that. I think it is. It has to be Sherry. The voice sounds familiar. The back of her head, the hair. Come on now. The clothes. Some people say it may have been Ashley Graham. I would have been down for that. I'd be cool for that. But come on now. She has no connection to Raccoon City. Sherry Birkin does, because she was a kid when it all went down. And her parents are involved with the outbreak. Big time. So it's pretty much a no-brainer that it's Sherry Birkin. However, that also gets me thinking. If they're going through this, Wouldn't you think Jill Valentine, Claire Redfield, and Ada Wong would be involved? Hell, even maybe Carlos! The Raccoon City survivors? That could mean Chris Redfield might be involved in this. I'm going to say Chris is probably not dealing with what Leon's dealing with, because Chris was not actually there during the outbreak in Raccoon City. Even Barry Burton and Rebecca Chambers, they get a pass. But it would be great to see them come back. I think that's probably why Capcom's hiding so much still. This is all just theory. I could be right. I could be wrong. But who knows? We'll find out tomorrow. Because I'm going to be playing the shit out of this. Just giving you guys a heads up. I'm going to stream the shit out of this. I hope my internet doesn't have any other plans. Knock on wood. I'm going to reset my router before I play. And update it or download it. You know what I'm talking about. I am going to make a little bit of a short, though. I'm going to record myself getting the game. Just kind of market myself into that. Because I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. I've been waiting very patiently for this. And plus, this is the most anticipated, the second most anticipated game of the year. Because Halloween the Game is my number one, and they're dropping stuff recently that's gotten me so... Oh, God, I don't want to get started about that game. We're talking about Resident Evil. But there are other games, too, I'm looking forward to. But Resident Evil... I've always loved Resident Evil. Ever since 2009, when Resident Evil 5 came out, I got it a little bit, not long after its release. And ever since I got that, I was immersed. I became a Resident Evil fan. I got into the movies. Whether you love them or hate them, I enjoy them for what they are, but they're not great movies. They're just turn your brain off and enjoy them for the ride. Plus, I had a hardcore crush on Mila Jovovich at the time, too. So, yeah, that definitely played a big part. But ever since then, I got into the other games, and I was so invested into the characters and the lore and the world. And I fell off not long after Resident Evil 6, because the direction they went to. And then Resident Evil 7 Biohazard came out. I did not have any interest whatsoever. Didn't like the direction they were going. Resident Evil Village, then we had the remakes of Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 Remake got me back into Resident Evil. Resident Evil 3 Remake just got my hype train through the fucking roof. I know a lot of people don't like that game, and there are still people that do like the game. They appreciate what it is. Is it a bad remake? Yeah. But is it still a good game? Very much. In my opinion. They could have done more. They could have been more faithful to the original. And even then, I still love Resident Evil 3 Remake for what it is. That was the most excited game. That was my most excited I've been for a game. Up until, obviously, Halloween the Game now. And then Resident Evil Village came out. I was like, And then the stuff with Lady Dimitrescu was being advertised. Everybody was being bloodthirsty, simping for her and all that. And I was not one of those people. Then I played the game and I was like, yeah, she's a baddie. But anyways, I liked Resident Evil Village. I didn't love it. I liked the fact that Chris Redfield was in it because he's my boy, so... But then we get to Resident Evil 4 Remake. Now, I was like, does it really need a remake? Does it really need a remake? No. Would I take a remake? Hell yeah, I will. I wasn't really too excited for it. I remember I was kind of focused on Dead by Daylight at the time more. I was focused on other things at the time. And plus 2023 started out horribly for me. I'll go on record, that is the worst year of my life. Due to personal reasons, health reasons, and family reasons that I will not get into. That's just for me, nobody else. And when that Dead Space remake was another one that I was looking forward to around that year. 2023 was definitely the one thing I'll say that was great about that year. It had some kick-ass movies and it had some kick-ass games that I was looking forward to, and they all lived up. They all lived up. All of them. Even Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. For its time. I was very happy with Dead Space Remake. And I was like, okay, Resident Evil 4 Remake's next on the list. And then that came out. I knew I was going to like it. I was going to really like it, at least. but I didn't expect it to be loved so much. I didn't expect it to dethrone Resident Evil 5. I didn't think any game was going to dethrone Resident Evil 5, unless they made a remake of Resident Evil 5. That may still be the case, as long as they're faithful. But Resident Evil 4 Remake, everything about that game is just perfect. I was so happy with it. I was so addicted to it for a while, and it was excellent. It's essential. It's perfect. That's just my opinion. It was a very faithful remake, even though they switched a little bit of things around, and they also improved on a lot of things as well. Specifically, Ashley Graham, Luis. So, and Krauser too. Krauser, I loved Krauser in this one. So, but yes. And then since then, we've been very quiet. It has been very quiet with Resident Evil games. For 3 years, it has been quiet. Technically 2, if you want to count last year with the announcement trailer to this game. So, yes, Resident Evil Requiem got my curiosity. But then Leon dropped in a trailer. Now you have my attention. And now, I'm very interested to see what is going to happen in this one. Because I feel like this one could be the biggest Resident Evil game to date. They tried that with Resident Evil 6 years ago. It didn't land with everybody. It was a flop. Even though it made a lot of money, it was a flop. There are things about Resident Evil 6 I really like, but there's also a lot of things I don't like about it. That was the most pure definition of a Resident Evil game that had literally lost its identity. Hence why Resident Evil 7 Biohazard came around. But I don't think that's going to happen with this one. Because, like I said, with the reviews I've seen of this one, they look promising. They do. But it's all up to opinion. It's a matter of opinion with everyone else. Us, the audience. And mine as well. And my brother. The both of us are really looking forward to this. So, I don't know what else to say about this game, other than the fact that I'm very curious, I'm very interested, and I'm excited. Is it the most exciting Resident Evil game? No. I'll tell you that right now. But it's definitely the most interesting. Plus, with the likes of Grace Ashcroft, who is a brand new character, and is very interesting to me. I find her to be a very interesting character. Take away the fact that she is a very attractive lady. She is a very interesting character, and I'm curious what her role really is going to be in this game. And I feel like she's going to be one of those characters that goes from very timid, very scared, she's an introvert clearly, very isolated, and grows. It's kind of like Ashley Graham in Resident Evil 4 Remake. I feel like she's going to become like that and just grow to be a strong, independent character. I feel that. Hopefully they don't kill her off. I hope that's not the case. Who knows what's going to happen with this game. But, no, seriously. I am interested. I'm excited. But I'm just like, what are they going to do with this? Where is this going to go? They're going back to Raccoon City. You're taking a risk with that. You're touching with the nostalgia here. You're touching with the fan base, the old school fan base. The oldies, man. Now, I'm not much the oldest. I'm just more when RE5's era came out. So, but even then, I have grown to be a hardcore Resident Evil fan because of that. And if you're going to do something big, you better execute it perfectly. And it's Capcom. They learn from their mistakes. They know. They listen to their fans. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And definitely be around for the live stream that I'm going to be doing for this. Because I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. It probably won't be till about 11 o'clock a.m., maybe noon, because I got the physical copy pre-ordered. And yes, I got the deluxe edition, in case you're wondering, at GameStop. Picking it up at GameStop, coming home, reset my router and all that while I'm at it, download it, get ready to stream. We'll go from there. So there's that. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you're ready, because I'm ready. Tomorrow's the day. I'm excited. Peace out. Have a good one.